My name is Cindy, Z9 Designs. Today is Talented Creators Collaboration, where I make fall DIYs. However, one must include corn. So check out my channel to see what I made out of corn and other items. And keep watching until the end. And if you make it to the end, post a leaf so I know that you're with me. DIY number 1, a creepy cloth brooch. The supplies needed include creepy cloth, water, turmeric powder, and you can also use thyme powder, jewelry finds, felt, hot glue, and a pin back. I always like to try something different when it comes to fall. That means cooler weather, sweaters, and hats. And I like to wear brooches on my hat in the fall or on my clothes. So here's the process. I took some creepy cloth and I just cut it into strips. I cut like 2 strips because I wanted to make 2 brooches. The strips were approximately somewhere around 18 inches by 2 inches. And then I looked in my cabinet and I found some turmeric powder. I put a teaspoon or approximately that into a small container and kind of mix it up just with my finger. And once I was satisfied with the mixture, I took the creepy cloth and submerged it, and I made sure it was well saturated. And I left it in there about 5 minutes, but with turmeric, I'm telling you, it grabs the cloth and dyes it almost instantly. So I rinsed it off and then I let it dry overnight. But in the morning, it still felt sort of gritty, so I washed it again. This time I added a little bit of soap and I again dried it overnight. And in the morning, I began rolling it and hot gluing it in a circle because it was nice and dry. Then I put it in a circle until I had 3 inches all around. As I glued it in a circle, I found a beautiful gem in my stash. It was like a button, so I was able to sew that to the middle of the creepy cloth. And then I cut out a circle out of felt and I just glued that to the back of that. Next, I cut felt leaves so that it would resemble a flower. And those were just hot glued to the back, including a pin. The other creepy cloth brooch was plain, although I attempted to naturally dye that with thyme. But the color change is very subtle. You really can't see it. I was wanting it to be a little bit more green than what it was. And so it just kind of turned out as just maybe a little bit darker than the regular creepy cloth. In addition, in my stash, I had a beautiful flower and it had a brad on the back. So that was really cool. I was able to stick that through the creepy cloth and then spread it so that it would be secure. And you know, you can pin it on your clothes or on a hat. And hey, I am walking away in style. The host for this collaboration is DIY with Aria and Loli D's Creations. The guest hosts include Happiness Created and Mom of All Trades DIY. These are fantastic women who are talented and helpful. So be sure to subscribe, like, save, and comment on their channels. The link to their channels is in the description box below. And there are other talented creators that have made some wonderful items also. So give them a thumbs up and comment. The playlist is in the description box below. Enjoy! DIY number 2, a fall cloth napkin. The supplies needed include 1/2 yard of green floral fabric from Joann's. You need a sewing machine, some thread, and some scissors, and another napkin as a template, or you can determine how small or large you want it. Now, I have always wanted to make my own napkins, but this time I wanted to make some fall napkins for a fall tablescape in the future. So I went to Joann Fabrics and I purchased 1/2 yard of green floral fabric that is so soft. I mean, it is just like butter. I used a napkin that I already had as a pattern for my new napkins. So I just folded the fabric and placed the other napkin on it, and I cut 4 pieces of fabric, and I just made sure they were all the same size. That's important. Then I folded the edges so that I would not have any raveling of the fabric, and also so that you could not see the raw edges. Folded and tucked and sewed all around the sides until all 4 of the napkins were completed. And the fabric is so soft that you don't even need to press it, and that's fine with me. And I slipped them into some napkin rings that I had in my stash for a nice fall look. Now, I did a little upcycle on the napkin rings by slipping a leaf inside the ring. Just wait until I put it all together for a fall delight in Tablescape Tuesday. So I guess you'll have to wait and watch that and see how I put it all together. I think it's going to be fabulous. DIY number 3. This is a corn candlelight. The supplies needed include some faux corn from Dollar Tree, rubber band, raffia, glass vase, and this is a hurricane glass vase, candle, rub and buff. Now, corn was a must-use item for this DIY. Put a little thought into this and I came up with, maybe I can make some corn pudding, some cornbread, some fried corn, some popcorn. I don't know. Then I realized, maybe they meant something else. So therefore, I decided to make a corn candlelight. And I think this would be fantastic for fall, right on into Thanksgiving. So I purchased several packs of faux corn from Dollar Tree. I don't normally keep corn in my stash. I use 4 different colors of corn, and then I use the antique rub and buff on each piece. This way they wouldn't be shiny, but they would have a nice little glimmer to it. So then when I placed it around the hurricane vase, I alternated the colors as I placed them around the glass hurricane, because you see there was some dark like burgundy corn and some light yellow corn, some dark yellow corn, and some other color. So I used 10 pieces of corn all together. Now the corn shucks were long, so I trimmed them down a bit so that when I lit the candle you could actually see the light. Now, I didn't throw away the trimmings, but instead, guess what I did? I put them in the bottom of the hurricane to give the candle a little height. And as I put the candle in there, it just kind of softened what I call the blow. I could not find a brown rubber band, so I had a thick blue one in my stash. You need a thicker rubber band for this because the thin one, I can see it popping, but at least this one will last for a while. If you have a blue rubber band, you gotta hide it. So I went to my stash and I had some raffia. It comes in long strips, so I tied a bow around the corn to first hold the corn in place and second to hide the rubber band. I think this looks fabulous, and I hope you think so too. Now, if you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe, like, save, and comment. Also, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Facebook. And thanks so much for watching and joining the family. I am almost at 2,000. And I appreciate your comments and would appreciate if you subscribe. And remember, tears of joy are like the summer rain pierced by sunbeams. I know it's fall, but I tell you here, it still feels like summer. It's really hot outside. Well, anyway, this is by Hosea Ballou. So I'll see you later. Bye-bye.